Hey y'all, this is Travell Richardson, and this is the Be Ready anthem, y'all. I hope y'all ready. Stay ready, be ready, 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 stay ready. Every show, new face, new dream. Young man out here building a team from the track to the court to the turf and the rings. They all grown different, but they got the same theme. Putting in work when the lights not on. Late night, early morning, still going strong. They don't do it for the lights, they do it for the fight. Future looking bright, cause they training for their life. So be ready, stay ready, 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 be ready, stay ready. Spotlight on them, time to show love. Brother smart and dream, all star from above. The hustle in their heart, purpose in their feet, and they voice on this mic that echoes in the streets. Every episode, no cap, no fake. Just young bloods grinding, rising to the stage. Different faces, same goals. Rise above the pressure, yeah, holding goals on. Be ready, stay ready, 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 be ready, stay ready. So put your hands together for my boys, Coach Tony and Carlos, for the Be Ready podcast coming on right now. Let's get it, let's go, y'all.
We are live and in color. Welcome, guys, to episode 89 of the Be Ready Sports Podcast, y'all. Welcome, guys, to episode 89. We are 11 episodes away till episode 100. That is crazy. I remember our first episode, Declan, a lot of upgrades in this show, but wow, from episode 1 to 89, it's crazy. We're only 11 episodes away from episode 100. So all thanks to you guys in the audience. Thank you guys, and all of you guys watching on the replay. All of you guys, thank you guys for your support. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel. That is where we're live right now. We're live on YouTube. That's where these podcasts are at. That's where all these podcasts are at, live on YouTube. And also should be scrolling down the ticker. Also follow us on our Instagram at Be Ready Sports Podcast. That's where we post our sports news, podcast clips, anything sports related will be on Instagram. All right. So without further ado, we got a special guest here tonight on episode 89. On episode 89 on this Friday night here on the Be Ready Sports Podcast, and let's get right to it, shall we? Tonight's guest is a class of 2034 baseball player from the state of Florida. This athlete plays for the USA Scout Team Nike 11U and Florida Hype 10U. He has received multiple perfect game all-tournament teams for both hitting and pitching. In school, he plays other sports competitively like soccer, street hockey, flag football, and will be trying out for the basketball team in the spring. So now, please welcome to the Be Ready Sports Podcast, episode 89, Deklan Mele.
Hello.
Declan, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
All right, Declan. So give a little icebreaker about yourself to the audience here tonight.
My name is Deklan Mele. I'm in 4th grade, and I play baseball.
Play baseball. Okay, simple, straight to the point. All right. And also, I read, according to the bio that I read, you also play sports competitively like soccer, street hockey, flag football, and then the basketball team soon for school. So how's that going?
That's going good. Our soccer season just ended.
Okay, cool. All right. What about street hockey? Because that's an interesting one. Because I know hockey, obviously NHL, played on the ice, but street hockey, how is street hockey?
It's fun. It's like hockey, but just on the street and without like ice blades or whatever they're called, and it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. Street hockey, definitely other way to play except on the ice. So it's a pretty interesting sport, street hockey. Also, flag football I see here. So how's flag football doing
It's good. It normally starts around after Christmas break.
after Christmas break? All right, all right. Yes. By the way, our guests are on Christmas break, including me. We're on Christmas break. It's almost Christmas, Declan. So what are you doing during winter break, man? What are you doing during Christmas break?
I just hit field like almost every day.
All right. So during Christmas break, you're gonna do baseball.
Yeah.
All right, gotcha, gotcha. All right, he's always active. All right, and they will be trying out for the basketball team soon in spring. By the way, Declan, I made my basketball team during this winter, so you're gonna be trying out for the basketball team in spring. So how do you think you're gonna do in the spring for your basketball team?
I think I do good. I think I'll be a good team player. I'll pass a lot. I think I'll get a lot of assists, to be honest.
Hey, very important to get assists. You got to be a team player. Assists. Making the right pass. That's the key to making the team. Got to be a team player, for sure. Hey, if you do those things, assist, making the right shots, playing defense, you will for sure make the team. You will for sure make the team indeed. Coming from somebody who plays on the varsity basketball team, when you get to that next level, high school, they look for a lot of team players. That they don't really look for independent players who does, the Kyrie handles and just shoot contested shots. Like they don't really look for that. They look for players who throw a lot of assists, who makes the next play. You know what I mean? Like makes the right shot, things like that. So
Yes.
yeah, so keep that mentality for tryouts, and then throughout, if you keep doing basketball, if you keep that same mentality, hey, you'll definitely go far for basketball. All right.
All right.
All right. So that's that. All right. So let's get you warmed up, Declan, into this podcast, and let's talk about some sports topics. How about let's talk about your sport, baseball. Here, baseball just ended. Declan. So, what was your reaction to the Dodgers winning the World Series in Game 7?
It was kind of crazy because at first I thought the Blue Jays were going to win the World Series, but the Dodgers came back and they won. I was surprised.
Yeah, that was insane. The Dodgers, no, in the beginning, the Blue Jays, they hit a 3-run homer now, and I thought, oh my gosh, like this might be it. But then all of a sudden, the Dodgers just hit a homer. And I think they cut the lead or something like that, or they tied the game or something like that. But the Dodgers just came back and won it, won the series on the road. That was insane. And speaking about the Dodgers, Declan, the key player who hit that home run, Miguel Rojas from the Dodgers, he's coming back. He announced that he is coming back to the Dodgers, which is a very key piece for the Dodgers. He hit that crucial home run in Game 7 that kept the Dodgers alive. He used to play for the Miami Marlins, now with the reigning champion Dodgers. So, Declan, what are your thoughts on Miguel Rojas coming back to the Dodgers?
I think he'll be a good part about Dodgers like organization, and I think he'll do good just like last year. And honestly, I think he'll do really good.
Yeah, for sure. He agreed to a 1-year deal, so he'll come back for at least another year. So he agreed to a 1-year deal, so he'll be back for another year for the Dodgers. So Miguel Rojas back with the Dodgers next year in 2026. All right, so let's talk about another free agency, because right now in baseball there's a lot of free agency going on, a lot of key players moving around. Um, Speaking about on the move, here's Edwin Diaz. I didn't know too much about Edwin Diaz until I did my research. He's a very well-known pitcher. I heard in baseball, played for the Mets. I see there he played for the Mets. He's one of the best closers in baseball as a pitcher. But now he's on the move, Declan, to the Dodgers, the reigning World Series champion. So he's going from the East Coast to the West Coast, and he's joining the Dodgers. What are your thoughts on this, Declan? Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers.
I think it will be good to the Dodgers team. The Dodgers are just now overpowered.
Hey, this move, you add Edwin Diaz in there as the pitcher. That's just gonna be a very good team. The Dodgers are already great. You add in another closer like Edwin Diaz at the end. When the Dodgers needed a closer, you know, he can be there, and that's gonna be a very key piece over there for the Dodgers. But I read somewhere, there was this person reacting on Instagram where that why are the Mets doing this? Like, why are they giving away a person like Edwin Diaz? They did so good in the beginning of the year, then they dropped. Then they dropped in the second half of the season. And then, the Mets now giving away one of their best players in Edwin Diaz. So, yeah, Declan, the Mets, what are your thoughts on the Mets? Yeah.
Uh, but that said they were bad.
They're bad? The Mets? Hey man, the Mets had a lot of hype. I remember. I remember the Mets had a lot of hype going into the offseason. And then, they actually started well. But then after All-Star break, just went down. And basically, Edwin Diaz going to the Dodgers, not looking too good for the Mets fans. So Edwin Diaz, the closer pitcher to the Dodgers. And guess what, Declan? The Mets misery, it continues because guess who's also on the move for the Mets? P. Alonso, one of their star players, one first baseman for the Mets, is on the move. He'll be staying on the East Coast, but he'll be playing for the Baltimore Orioles. So, what are your thoughts on that, Declan?
Bad for the Rays.
What happened?
Um, it's bad for the Rays to be honest, because now they have a bigger competitor like Pete Alonso, a really good baseball player like him going to the Orioles. That's a challenge.
Yeah, for sure it will be. The Orioles, they had a below average year. They went 75 and 87, which is not good at all for the Orioles. But now you have Pete Alonso over there. I guess we'll see what happens. You had a star player over there in Baltimore. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens when a star player, joins a below average Baltimore Orioles team, who I believe in the past they did like I believe the Baltimore Orioles, yeah, because last year in 2024, Declan, they went 91 and 71, made the playoffs. They made the playoffs in 2024. They were third in the American League. And then now you look at them in 2025. Then now you look at them in 2025, they're like the fourth worst team in the American League. So they had a huge drop off from 2024 to 2025. So Declan, so do you think the Orioles will go up in 2026 from being the fourth worst?
Yeah, I think so.
For sure.
With Pete Alonso, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I know it's very early. But do you think they'll make a playoff?
I think they'll make the wild card.
Okay. Well, okay. So playoffs. Okay. Wild card. Wild card. Okay. I guess we'll see because baseball season doesn't start until no, February. That's spring training. Declan, do you know when baseball starts? Because I'm not familiar with the baseball season.
March.
March. No, according to ESPN, it says spring training starts in February. So let me see here. Opening day 2025. Oh yeah, I think it is March. Yeah, the season will kick off with the Tokyo series. Oh no, wait, that's the wrong one. That was 2025, March 2025. Yeah, it'll be opening day will be Wednesday, March 25th. This will be the earliest scheduled tradition opening day in MLB history with a standalone matchup on March 25th. That will be the Yankees against the Giants. That game will, I believe, be on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. So the Yankees going up against the Giants on March 25th. And that is the only matchup that day. So huge day for baseball there. Kyle Schwarber, I believe he was star player over there in the Phillies. He's coming back to the Phillies. So, Declan, what are your thoughts on the Phillies and Kyle Schwarber coming back to the Phillies?
Kyle Schwarber coming back to the Phillies is gonna be a big part of like Phillies organization. Him and Bryce Harper are just really good together, and I think that they're good, and I think they'll make the playoffs.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see how the Phillies did last year. The Phillies, they were second. The Phillies were actually second in the National League. They were right behind the Brewers. They were right behind the Brewers, and yeah. So the Phillies, they were second place. They were in second place in the National League. So they had a pretty good year. They had a pretty good year in the National League. Made the playoffs, and yeah, for the Phillies. So Kyle Schwarber being back, which is a huge piece over there in Philadelphia. So good for those Phillies fans and having Kyle Schwarber back for the Phillies. So key player for the Phillies coming back, Kyle Schwarber. All right, so here's an announcement that I saw on MLB's Instagram page. On April 25th and the 26th, Declan, the MLB will be going on a world tour to Mexico City, the Mexico City series for 2026. It will be the San Diego Padres. The San Diego Padres taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Taking on the Diamondbacks. So, Declan, what are your thoughts on this? MLB going to Mexico City.
I think that's crazy to go all the way to Mexico City. Is that far?
Well, I'm from Florida, so
So
it's pretty,
much.
so it's pretty far. Yeah, so it's pretty,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty far. It's pretty far. Because obviously you got to go over the Gulf and into Mexico City, so it's pretty far, obviously. So yeah, yeah, it is indeed far, but the key, to these big sports organizations like the MLB, like the NHL, the NBA, is to expand their brand basically to the world. Like for example, how the NFL is doing their matchups in like Brazil, London, Germany, like they're expanding their game to the whole entire world. NBA did the same thing basically with Mexico City. They had a game in Mexico. I believe they had a game in Puerto Rico with the Heat and the Magic in the preseason. So the NBA, they're expanding their thing. I don't think the NHL has done that yet. Hopefully they do it. Oh no, wait, no. And the NHL has done it. NHL, they did it in Finland. They had their matchup in Finland, and now MLB following that trend of going around the world with their brand and going to Mexico City. So what are your thoughts, Declan, on basically the MLB expanding their brand to the world?
I think it's cool, and I'll, I think it will bring some popularity to the MLB. Like more people in Mexico City, like trying to be an MLB player, play baseball, play at a good level.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. The key, the key of going to Mexico City is to attract more fans. To attract more fans, attract, the fans from Mexico who don't watch baseball all the time. They see that, oh, an MLB matchup is coming to Mexico City. Oh, so let me watch. Let me watch. So they watch the matchup and then they start to get invested. Same thing with the NHL. They watch a hockey game for the first time in Finland. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm addicted to hockey now. And now they're watching hockey. Same thing in the NBA. Same thing, all these leagues expanding around the globe. And the key, the same thing that you said, Declan, is to attract those fans, those international fans who don't get to watch these matchups on a day-to-day basis, but bring them to the sport and basically, get them invested in the sport. So I'm glad that the MLB is doing this, going on this world tour. The MLB did this before. I just remember, Declan, they went to Japan. Remember that? The Dodgers with Shohei Ohtani, they had their first game in Japan with Shohei Ohtani. So the MLB has done this before. They went to Japan, and then now they're going to be in Mexico City. So I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of San Diego Padres fans because obviously San Diego and Mexico, they're right there. Same thing, Arizona Southwest. So I'm glad with the MLB they did Southwest. They grabbed the Southwest teams instead of like the Dodgers or things like that. So yeah, so that will be on April 25th and the 26th. The Padres taking on the Diamondbacks. All right, so let's move on. Speaking about expanding the game, big time games. How about this one? The Twins taking on the. Hold on, let me confirm. Is the Twins taking on, I believe, the Phillies here in the Field of Dreams. The Field of Dreams, they had this a few years ago with the White Sox Yankees, an instant classic. That got me invested in that game. That was a game that I was watching. Great for baseball. Declan, have you seen the movie Field of Dreams by Kevin Costner?
No, I have not.
No? Okay, so when you get a chance, so since you're a baseball player, try and watch it, because obviously it's a very popular movie. The MLB, they basically tried to, they had a game in that same studio, well, close to the studio of the Field of Dreams over there in Iowa. So MLB is bringing it back on August 13th, 2026. It will be the Field of Dreams in Iowa. So what are your thoughts on this, Declan?
I think that will be really big. And the Phillies versus the Twins, you said? Sorry?
Let me check. Let me check. Field of Dreams. Hold on, hold on. The Phillies and the Twins. Yeah, should be the Phillies and Twins.
Yeah, I think this will spark some attention to the MLB, like just to have more fans than they already did.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. The reason why and I got it messed up because the teams, the peak, it kind of threw me off because during these games, these teams like to use their alternate logos basically, so it kind of threw me off. But that's the Phillies, that's the Twins. Yeah, so it's being played in Iowa. Not a lot of baseball games are being played in Iowa, Declan. I think the last one was like a couple years ago. It was a couple years ago. It wasn't the Yankees Dodgers. It was another matchup. I can't remember the top of my head, but it was another good matchup. And then that was it for that. They had a little hiatus, but now it's back. Phillies and Twins and the MLB Field of Dreams. That'll be on August 13th. Instead of it being on Fox, it's going to be on Netflix, Declan. So, and I talked about this on a previous show how Netflix is basically being involved now with the MLB. They're having these new TV deals. NBC's getting involved, Netflix being involved. All these other networks now starting to be involved with MLB, and that is great for the sport indeed. So August 13th, 2026, the Phillies will take on the Twins in Iowa, in Dyersville, Iowa. All right, so let's switch gears for here. So let's switch gears into some football. So here's the college football playoff, Declan. So let me explain what's going on here. So just last week, last Sunday, they announced the college football playoff. They announced the 12 teams who made the playoff here, the 12 teams. Number one, Indiana, who is the best team right now in college football. Number two, Ohio State. Ohio State, they lost to Indiana, so that's why they're at 2. Number 3, Georgia. They're a very good team. They won their conference, so they're at 3. Number 4, Texas Tech. They're a very good team, a dangerous team, Texas Tech. They won their conference as well. Oregon, number 5. There's the green O right there. They did not win their conference, but however, they're a very dangerous team when it comes down to the college football playoff. Number 6, Ole Miss. Ole Miss will not have their head coach. They will have an interim head coach, so that's going to be a little iffy there for Ole Miss, but they're still a very talented team. They're still a very talented team over there at number 6. Number 7, Texas A&M. They lost in their last game, so that's why they dropped from what could have been a first-round bye down to a first-round game. They're hosting a first-round game. Still a dangerous team. They have a very good offense, elite defense, elite head coaching. They're probably the best team in this first round. They're probably the best team in this first round. So they're going to be a team to watch out for, Texas A&M. Number 8, Oklahoma. They have a very great defense, a suspicious offense. Their offense hasn't been great, but we'll see what happens. Their defense is really great. Alabama at number 9. They're right above Oklahoma at number 8. Alabama, They're a really good team. They lost to the number 3 team Georgia in their conference title game. Alabama, an elite team with an elite quarterback, very good defense, and that team is going to be dangerous for Oklahoma. Number 10, Miami is the U. It's the U above number 7, Texas A&M. They're a very good team. They got a good quarterback, a very good offense, very good defense. They're going to be a dangerous team for Texas A&M as they go on the road. Number 11, Tulane. That's the green team above number 6. They're a very good team. They won their conference. They're one of the best teams in in their area of college football. That's number 11. They're a very good team. They got a very good offense, a great coach, great team in general. And then number 12, James Madison, which is the purple team above number 5, Oregon. Very good team. I haven't seen them a lot, so I can't really, you know, how do you say it? Expand on them, but I've seen a little bit. They got a very good running game. They got a very good running game, good defense, and they will be a dangerous team, well coached. So, after hearing all that, Declan, so what are your thoughts on the college football playoff from your standpoint? So how do I say this? What are your thoughts on this playoff bracket and the things that I just explained?
Well, I don't watch like college football a lot, but I think Georgia will go to the next round and maybe be in the championship against, let's see. I'm gonna say, oh, what team is that?
Which one? Number 1, 4, 8.
Number 4, yeah, number 4.
Number 4, that's Texas Tech. So you got Georgia and Texas Tech. Okay, so you got Georgia, Texas Tech. So do you know who's going to win that game, or do you have those two in the championship?
Georgia. Uh, if it is those two, I would say Georgia.
Okay, so if it is those two, okay, all right, all right. All right, so that's the playoff bracket right there. I'm not gonna expand on it because I know that's not your sport, Declan. So I'm not gonna go fully in depth. I usually discuss. I usually go in depth with my co-host, but since he's not here, I can't really go in depth. So here's the bracket. The first round games, Declan. So basically, the games that are on the far left, those games will start next Friday, December 19th. They'll start December 19th. The first game is 8 versus 9. Oklahoma, Alabama. That's at 8 p.m. live on ABC. So that game's going to be a very good game to watch. First round of the playoff next Friday, live on ABC. Live on ABC. Okay, so let's move on here. I put this topic because of my co-host. He served in the military, so I wanted to bring this on. I know Coach Tony, he's in the chat. Declan, so during the show, the comments will be on the show. So if you want to read them, you could. He kind of trolling me there in the chat. I don't know if you see that, Declan, on the chat from my co-host. Be saying boo boo, your co-host. I wonder why he's not here. Why is he not here? He should be here. He should be here. He should be here. But all right, Coach Tony. So since you're in the chat, here's this game: Army versus Navy. This is one of the great rivalries in college football. Basically, if you're not a college football fan, you can just read off this and it's like, oh wow, this is a big game. Army, a military, a type of military going up against another type of military and Navy. So this is a huge rivalry over there for the U.S. military. So Declan, all right, so let me ask you this. So what are your thoughts on this game between Army versus Navy? A very good game. A very good game between two. How do you say it? Two military programs going up against each other. So what are your thoughts on that? Two military programs going at it.
I think that's gonna be really cool. I don't know what the outcome of the game is going to be, but I think it'll be a close match. And I just think that's really cool, and it might spark some attention to the NFL.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Definitely. This is a big game. This is a big game for college football fans and for people who served in the military. Army Navy is one of the best games in college football. People have that circled in their calendar. This is the only game in the college football season where they have their own weekend in the whole FBS, which is basically a subdivision of college football. So this is the only game that's going to be on FBS. That's how special this game is. Declan is the only game that's going to be on in the FBS and big time college football. So this is going to be a big game. This is at 3 p.m. on Saturday on CBS. This is going to be a huge game on CBS. Army versus Navy. All right. All right, so one more thing before we get into some basketball, and then we get into your Q&A, Declan. So here is the Heisman Trophy. So let me explain the Heisman Trophy. So let me explain to what the Heisman Trophy is. So the Heisman Trophy is basically given to the most outstanding player in college football. So it's basically given to the best player in college football. So here are the four candidates that will be in New York for the ceremony. First, on the top left is Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame. He has been a beast, Declan. He's the best running back in college football. Basically with Jeremiah Love, basically if you're the quarterback that hands off to Jeremiah Love, it's basically a guaranteed first down because because he's strong, he's athletic. He is a great player. He's the best running back in college football, and he deserves to be up there because of how elite and talented he is. And the top right, you have Fernando Mendoza, quarterback for Indiana, who is the quarterback for the number one seed Indiana Hoosiers. He has been a great quarterback for Indiana. He was a transfer coming into this year. He, he's a tall quarterback, very good quarterback. He's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Led his team to win the conference title game against Julian Sain down there in the bottom right against his team, which was a very good game. Fernando Mendoza led his team to win that game. So he's the favorite right now, in my opinion. He's the favorite to win the Heisman, but we'll see what happens on Saturday night. Diego Pavia down there on the bottom left, he's like a wild card. You're like he's a wild card. He got that dog in him from Vanderbilt, brought that program to from the depths of college football to now the heights of college football. He has done a great job changing that culture over there at Vanderbilt, and he is a very good quarterback who has a heart, dog. Basically, he got that in him. He got that in him, and he's a very good quarterback, Diego Pavia. And then down there in the bottom right, you got Julian Sayin, who basically I didn't know much about Julian Sayin. I'm not gonna lie, but then I watched this Michigan game against Ohio State, and he basically he threw an interception early. He kind of threw the wrong pass. Kind of things was running fast through his mind, but then as the game progressed on, he basically got into his groove, made the right passes, whether those are slants, short passes. And then when he had the opportunity to throw those long passes, he threw the long passes. So Julian's saying he makes the right passes. So all right, so Declan, so after all that talking of basically every single candidate, so all right, so what are your thoughts on the Heisman Trophy finalists, Declan? Yeah. So basically, what are your thoughts on the finalists?
After you saying all of that,
Yeah.
honestly, I think Jeremiah Love would win, but I think it's Jeremiah Love or Fernando Menendez. I think is that how you say it?
Mendoza.
Mendoza.
Okay, cool. All right, Declan. Yeah, so basically the Heisman Trophy Award, it's kind of favored towards quarterbacks, unfortunately. Well, the only way you win the Heisman as like outside of a quarterback, you got to be very elite. And that's what Jeremiah Love is. He's a great running back, athletic, fast, strong. He has a shot to win the Heisman. So, all right. So Declan, so you said Jeremiah Love or Mendoza. All right, I like your opinion. And now guess who popped up on the second thing here? Coach Tony finally arrived. So Coach Tony, hello, welcome to the show. And so the show must go on. So Coach Tony, you got to pick up where we left off. You got to how do you say it? We're talking about the Heisman Trophy. So who's your favorite to win the Heisman?
Me.
You? Okay. You got
Yeah. Boo Notre Dame. Number one. Even though he does deserve it, but boo Notre Dame. Boo. We got Notre Dame fans in the chat. I don't care. Boom. Boo Notre Dame.
Okay.
Do it with me, Declan. Say boo Notre Dame.
Boom, Neuter Day. Notre Day.
Notre Dame. He said Notre Dame.
Day. So Tony.
Boo Notre Dame.
So okay.
I don't know. This is one of the most underwhelming Heisman Trophy finalists that I've ever seen. Um, the ones that are deserving aren't there. So out of these four, who had the more impactful season? Jeremiah Love is not even in the playoffs. Mendoza's team went undefeated. So I think it's going to go to. I think it's going to go to him because his team finished the season undefeated. They beat the defending champions, gave them their only loss of the season in a meaningful game. So even though it was a subpar performance, he still pulled his team through. So he'll probably win it.
Okay. Okay, Tony. I'm also going with Mendoza as well, but I won't be surprised if a person like Jeremiah Love wins. I won't be surprised. But I'll go with Mendoza. Because he actually showed under adversity that he can lead his team under adversity against that Penn State game. He really, he had to face some adversity head on. He went down the field against Penn State and threw a touchdown pass to essentially save their season because if they would have lost that game between them and Ohio State would have been a way different headline. The headline would have been Indiana's backs are against the wall. If they lose, they would have been out of the playoff. And then who knows, maybe a Notre Dame would have gotten in if Indiana would have lost.
One loss out the playoff? I highly doubt that.
No. But what I'm saying is if Indiana lost to Penn State, right? They lost to Penn State, which is, by the way, a very bad loss, which would have been a very bad loss for Indiana. They would have been they probably would have still been top 10. And then that game against Ohio State, the headline would have been their backs are against the wall. So if Indiana would have lost that game to Ohio State, they would essentially be out of the playoff, and then you put a Notre Dame team in. Do you agree on that, Tony? If Indiana would have lost to Ohio State and Penn State?
2 losses. I think they still would have got in.
Still?
Yeah, they still would have had a better resume than Notre Dame.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll never know. Because
I don't do hypotheticals. Come on, Carpo.
Yeah, I know you don't. Okay. Coach Tony, since you're here, I want to do a quick pick with you. Who you got winning? Army versus Navy. Who you got?
I don't care about neither one of these.
You don't?
I'm a Marine. Simplified.
So
you should be asking. You should be asking Bruce and Transformer.
Yes, I know. I should. I should. I should, but they're not here.
But I think Navy's gonna win though. I think Navy's gonna win this one.
Okay.
Declan, you know how long this rivalry been going on between Army and Navy?
I'm gonna guess 8 years.
8?
What?
Way longer, Declan.
No, way longer than that, boy.
100 plus.
It didn't start when you were. It didn't start when you were 4 years old. No.
Oh no.
Well, 2 years old.
Yeah.
My man said 8 years old. 8 years. No, it's been going on for triple digits.
Oh yeah.
Over 100 years.
So
This
crazy.
was some history lesson. This history lesson. But don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
I'm just going off the dome. But how college football started was because of the Army Navy. Was because of the Army Navy game. It's the longest rivalry in sports. The Army Navy game. It was something to boost the morale of the soldiers. So they started, football with their young guys, enlistment and all that for morale. And the game took off. They did it every year, and then it just skyrocketed. And then it turned into Notre Dame USC. Notre Dame USC. They've been playing for over 100 years too, and it just trickled down from there. So there's a lot of history in this game. A lot of history, right, Carlos?
Indeed, a lot of history, a lot of tradition. It's basically in the name. Army versus Navy. Like if you don't play football or watch football, like when you just see Army versus Navy, it's like, oh wow, it's like it's against two Marine academies. Like, I'm pretty interested. Army versus Navy. I'm pretty sure I'm down to watch that. It's America's game, basically. It's America's game. Everybody around the country is gonna be watching. And Coach Tony, and this rivalry is so special that this game is the only game on for that weekend for the whole FBS. That's how special this game is. Guys,
Yep. And I want Army Navy to win because I want to hear Bruce singing the Navy's anthem every time he goes live on his podcast.
so he's going for Army.
Bruce is in the Army.
Oh, okay, so yeah, he's gonna go for Army. Usually the underdog wins this. Usually the underdog wins this. Usually most of the time. So Army is the underdog. So let's just say Army has a shot. They have a shot. But let's move on with this show. So let's move on. So with some basketball here. We got some basketball here. Clemson and BYU. What a game this was on what a game this was between BYU and Clemson. This was on Tuesday night, by the way. Tuesday night. BYU, who was down. They were down by 22 points in, I believe, the second half. BYU comes back, and that man right there, the freshman, AJ DeBansa. AJ DeBansa was a highly ranked recruit in high school, committed to BYU, and he led his team to win against Clemson with a buzzer beater. They beat Clemson by a buzzer beating 3 at the buzzer made by Robert Wright III from BYU. So I'm going to start with you, Coach Tony. So what are your thoughts on BYU, the number 10 team in the country, led by freshman AJ DeBansa, leading the comeback, beating Clemson?
I think this is like Declan throwing strikeouts and hitting bombers out of the park. That's how big this win is. Now this Clemson's keeping the tradition in all sports of just playing mediocre.
Blowing leads. They blew a big time lead there.
Yeah.
BYU now 8-1. So Declan, so what are your thoughts on this? So basically in baseball terms, I'll put this in baseball terms, Declan. So basically
That's Declan hitting this is like Declan. This is like Declan. You're in the bottom of you guys don't play 9 innings. Bottom of your last inning. You're at bat. Bases loaded. You're down by 4 runs. All hope is lost. You're down to a full count, 3-2, and pitcher throws it down the middle. and you knock it right out of the park. Look, he's setting. Look, he's pitching in his head. He's setting it up right now. Look, he's about to swing. He was about to swing for real, Carlos.
He's about to swing for real. Oh my
He's
god.
about to swing that bat for real.
Hey, he's imagining it in real life. So wait, Coach Tony, keep going with your thought.
No, I'm just saying that's how this comeback was. It's just like you hit that and you guys win the game by 1 run.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. So Declan, so what are your thoughts on basically in Coach Tony's terms, compared to this game? It's basically the same terms, but in baseball terms.
A buzzer beater for a rookie to win the game.
I don't know if he was a rookie, but it wasn't AJ DeBanson number 3. He didn't hit the shot. It was someone else, but yeah.
Just to come back when you're down that bad, just to come back and win that is crazy.
Yeah, for sure. They played at Madison Square Garden. All-Stars show out at Madison Square Garden, and BYU, they got the win. So BYU, number 10 team in the country, they survive at the Garden. They're 8-1. Their next game they got Saturday night against UC Riverside. That is on Saturday night. All right, so let's move on here to another game. It was a doubleheader over there at the Garden with the Jimmy V Classic, a big-time classic for college basketball. UConn, how about UConn, number 5 team in the country? They outlast the reigning national champion, the Florida Gators, and they beat them 77-73. Solo Ball had 19 points as he contributed to UConn's victory over the Gators. So, Coach Tony, your thoughts on UConn, who's 9-1, number 5 team in the country, beating Florida?
Well, not the same Florida team from last year. Put it that way.
Oh no,
Not the same. This is like you guys undefeated right now, Carlos.
yeah,
And then next year, everybody leaves.
that's
And-
exactly how it's going to be next year.
And it's like everybody leaves and you're starting from scratch.
Hey, well,
And you're the defending champs, and you're getting everybody's best.
oh
But
yeah,
it was still a close game. It looks like Florida still had the heart of the champion, even though it's a whole brand new squad.
yeah.
I can't wait for March Madness. 'Cause we
Hey,
done have the college basketball have been crazy. A lot of upsets this year. The only constant has been Duke with the Boozer twins. I know. Stop moving ahead, Coach Tony. I'm about to talk about them.
No, it's all right. Duke, they're handling their business. They're obviously one of the best teams in the country, Duke. Yeah, so a good comparison, Coach Tony, with my team, but yeah, it's same comparison. Basically, our team goes undefeated, and then the following year, all of the 12th graders leave, all the upperclassmen leave, and basically you got the guys who were there but were role players that now have to step up as star players. That's basically what's going on with Florida right now. And basically, they're getting everyone's best shot. They're obviously the reigning national champions. They got that title of reigning national champions. They are the hunted, not the hunter, but they want to think that they're the hunter. So, Declan, so what are your thoughts on UConn, who is one of the best teams in college basketball? They beat the reigning national champions and the Gators.
That's cool. I don't know much about college basketball, but if the Gators are the reigning national champions and a team beat it, that seems hard to do.
It is very hard to do, UConn and Florida. UConn, number 5 team in the country. They will take on Texas tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on Fox Live from UConn. And then Florida, they will be playing against George Washington, a very good team. Saturday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. on ESPN2. And the Orange Bowl Classic, by the way, Coach Tony, my team will be there. to watch this game. We'll watch the doubleheader between UMass and Florida State, and then Florida and George Washington. So I will be there in person to watch the Florida Gators and see, what's really up with the Gators this year. So I'll be there in person to watch the Gators, the number 18 team in the country, the reigning national champions, take on George Washington, who is a very good team from the Atlantic 10.
Oh, Carlos about to watch him some college basketball in person. Declan.
Yeah, the last time I watched college basketball was actually at the Amer Bank Arena over there in Sunrise, home of the Florida Panthers. It was actually, I think it was 2 years ago or last year. I watched Florida State take on South Florida, where at the time South Florida, they were the worst team in the American, and basically Florida State lost to South Florida. And I was pretty, I wasn't happy about it because we just lost to the worst team in the American Conference, and we're like, bro, like what the fudge? Like, come on, like I don't know what happened to Florida State, but ever since then, South Florida was on an upward trend, and then Florida State basically went down after that, basically. So yeah, so that's what happened. I'll be there in person, live from Sunrise, Florida. We'll be watching the first game, UMass and Florida State. That game will be at noon, and then Florida, the Gators, will take on George Washington. All right, Coach Tony. So as you can see in the time, so do you want me to start the Q&A, or do we got time for one more?
Man, that's up to our guest. It's his show. It's Declan's show.
Okay, so Declan, so do you want to start your Q&A now, or do you want to do one more topic?
Q&A. It's getting late.
Okay.
I'm just tired.
No, yeah, because the next topic we were going to talk about, Coach Tony, was the NBA Cup. We were going to talk about that, and then I was going to bring some videos, some flashbacks of when we talked about the NBA Cup to start the year, and it kind of would have took long, so it would have been past the hour, and then the Q&A would have been long, and blah, blah, blah. So good choice, Declan. Good choice. We'll mention that on the next podcast of the NBA Cup. All right, Declan. So let's start your Q&A. So first question: what inspired you to play baseball?
What inspired me to play baseball? Well, I was always around the baseball field as a kid watching my brother play, and I just saw how fun it was to be with your friends and hit good pitch strikeouts and just hit. And ever since then, I just really wanted to play baseball.
All right. So who taught you the most about baseball?
I'm gonna say Coach Eric Beatty.
Okay.
From my old team.
Okay. All right. So what is your position or positions on the baseball field, and why were you placed in those positions or position?
I mostly play second and catcher, but I can play anywhere. I think I play second because I have good footwork, and I think I play catcher because I have a good body and I have a good arm.
Okay. All right. So what's the biggest challenge at your positions, basically second base and catcher?
Catcher, I would say pop fly straight up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then at second, balls hit down the middle that the shortstop can't get to, and you have to take an angle, and there's 2 outs and the game's on the line, and you have to get him out. You backhand it, but you have no time to throw it. You throw it, and then you overthrow it.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure. Definitely that second base, is a crucial role because, if it gets past you, it's basically a base hit. Basically, it's a base hit. So it's a very important spot, second base and catcher as well. So what do you like most about playing baseball?
What I like most about playing baseball is spending time with my friends and having lots of fun.
For sure, the key is to have fun in every sport: baseball, basketball, soccer. A key is to have fun. So what do you like least about playing baseball?
The 8 a.m. games and the game breaks.
man, I think we all hate the 8 a.m. games. We all hate them.
Yes, yeah, Declan. So basically, it's the same thing in basketball too. Basketball, we also have to play 8 a.m. too. So, and the football people also would say that too. So, Yeah, so it's not just baseball; it's every other sport too. Gotta play at 8 a.m. But
Well, well, Declan, when you play in Cooperstown, you gonna have some 4 a.m. games. Oh yeah, yeah. That there's over 100 plus teams in your division, and you're out there for a week. They got to schedule them. Yeah, I've had players that played out there. They had 4 a.m. games, teams playing at midnight. I was like,
insane.
yeah, Cooperstown, you better be prepared.
Hey, it's insane. Yeah, definitely because when you
I
get
think
older.
I killed. I think I killed his dreamer playing in Cooperstown.
Uh, no, not really. I
He's
kind of
like,
already knew that.
he's like 4 a.m. Nah, but it's an experience. You got to go there. If you
Yeah.
haven't played there yet, Declan, you got to go.
Definitely an experience over there in Cooperstown. So, what are your strengths as a baseball player, Declan?
I think my strengths of a baseball player is just being a hard worker, and I get tired, but when I get tired, I push through, and I like don't get like sloppy and play around and everything. I push through, and I still have fun. And if I'm running and I get tired, I just adapt, and I think that's it.
Yeah, for sure. Because when you get tired and fatigued, your mind starts to get confused basically, and you're not thinking straight, and you start to do stuff that you're not used to doing basically. So the best players, the great players, they get tired, but they push through the tiredness, and then they stay straight with their mentality. They stay straight, even when they're tired. They don't go swiggy lines like going crazy. They stay in a straight line, focused mentality, just like the great Kobe Bean Bryant, who, a lot of our basketball guests refer to as their idols, great to hear from all our basketball guests. So, what is something that you want to improve on in your game?
Um, Bringing my practice swings into games, just getting into that habit and muscle memory.
Okay, cool, cool. All right. So, what goes through your mind before every pitch?
Um, Fielding wise, prep step, read the ball. After that, so make a clean throw to the first baseman or turn two. That's pretty much it.
All right, all right. So, what do you do to mentally prepare for a baseball game?
Before the game, I listen to some music to hype me up, and when I warm up, I take it seriously and I make sure I'm all warm and I just play the game and have fun.
Yeah, for sure. So, you listen to music before the games, right?
Yes.
So what type of music you like listening to?
Uh, Christian rap. Forrest Frank mostly.
Christian rap. Okay. Cool, cool. All right.
Okay.
So what makes you a good teammate?
Um, I'm always one of the first people to congratulate someone if they like scored or move someone over. If someone's down, I can bring them up. I I just I think I'm a good baseball player because not a good teammate because of that.
Okay. Yeah, it's important, be the first one, team player. There you go. All right, so who do you idolize your game to and why?
I idolize my game to Mookie Betts because he has good footwork and he can field good, and batting he hits good and he plays anywhere.
Go blue.
Yeah, Mookie Betts.
Defending World Series champs 2 times. Go blue. About to be 3.
Back to back. Yeah, Coach Tony, you missed the beginning of the show. We were talking about Edwin Diaz now with the Dodgers. Edwin Diaz and then Miguel Rojas coming back. So
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to the city of New York. We greatly appreciate the gift I want y'all to keep. I know it's the holiday season. That is the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you, Mets.
Yeah, the Mets for sure. Giving away a closer pitcher now to the Dodgers. Big time acquisition for the Dodgers. Okay, so I know what Coach T's favorite baseball team, Declan. So what is your favorite MLB team and why?
My favorite MLB team is the Tampa Bay Rays because I was born in Tampa Bay.
Okay, the
Okay.
Rays. All right, all
Tampa
right.
Bay Rays.
Yeah, all right. So if you had to meet any sports athlete, it could be baseball, basketball, football, who would it be and why?
Baseball wise, to be Shohei Ohtani because I just think he's a good guy and he shares support to the community and he's a really good baseball player, one of the baseball players to ever live. And if I got a chance to meet him, I definitely want his autograph.
I think Declan's low key a Dodger fan, Carlos.
Oh no, because because he said he likes to idolize his game after Mookie Betts. He likes to meet Shohei Ohtani. Those are two baseball players right there from the Dodgers. So
Well,
hey,
Shohei
but
Shohei Ohtani.
oh yeah, for sure. He's
He-
Shohei. He's like that.
Declan said it don't matter what team he's on, I'm gonna meet him.
Yeah, for sure. Shohei Ohtani, he's a great baseball player. So
Well,
besides,
I got a question for you. Sorry, Carlos. I got a question for you. How'd you get the nickname Swaggy D?
Oh. Because when I was at one of my old team's tryouts, I was wearing some of my chains, and people kept on calling me Swaggy D. After I told them their name, they called me Drip King and Swaggy D. So I think it just like elevated after that.
Drip King or Swaggy D? I like it.
okay, all right, good question.
Did you, did you look like a rapper with all that bling around your neck?
I don't know.
My bad, Carlos. That was two questions, not one.
No, it's good questions. Good questions. So those were good questions. All right, Declan. So besides baseball, what other sport would you like to try and why?
I would like to try basketball because it seems fun, and I've done one camp before, and it was actually really fun to do that. So I think it will be fun to play another sport, and yeah, that's mostly. I just think it will be fun to try something else, get out of my comfort zone.
Okay, for sure. All right. So last question, Declan. So what are your favorite hobbies/interests to do outside of baseball?
Outside of baseball is first is hang out with my friends. Second is watch movie with my families, and third is draw. I like to draw a lot.
Draw. Okay. So what are your favorite things to draw?
Um, Mostly like characters. Like that's really it.
Okay. Characters. All right. All
That's
right. So
something in common with Carlos.
yeah, no, back in COVID, Declan, fun fact, I don't think Coach Tony knows this, but during COVID, I I would draw college logos. I would draw college logos on my iPad. I would draw college logos. I would draw planes, like the planes, like airplanes. Like I would actually draw those.
Airplanes,
Yeah,
airplanes, like this any other airplane.
there's
Airplanes,
yeah,
airplanes.
yeah. Well, they're commercial jets.
And Declan plays baseball.
Yeah, there you go. Baseball. Yeah, yeah.
I'm Oh yeah, that was a rough time. We don't want to relive those COVID years.
Oh no, but hey, we have to make the best of it. But obviously, we're here now. Okay. All right, Coach Tony, you got it, or do you want me to, keep going?
I want to know where's Declan's audience at, man. Y'all sleeping up in here, man. Why y'all do this when we bring baseball players on here? Declan's a phenomenal athlete, man. He needs his audience support. Y'all need to tap in. Y'all need to tap in, man. Support Swaggy D. But here's a fun fact. Here's a fun fact, Carlos. You know
Yeah.
that there's something about when kids reach a certain age and they're good in sports, they go to that blonde hair phase.
Okay.
Yeah, you know somebody that went through that blonde hair phase too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. His hair is not blonde no more. I can tell you that for sure. He's going through hair freeze. He
Now,
did
if
crazy.
you're a natural blonde, hey, this doesn't apply to you then, Swaggy D.
Yeah, but
I'm not natural blonde.
But yeah. So what got you in the blonde hair phase?
On my rec organization I used to play at, there's this kid that had blonde hair, and I thought it looked cool. And when my brother showed me how, like, his hair when it looked blonde, I thought it was cool, and I wanted to do it. I actually wanted to do it for 3 years, but every time we did it, I thought it would hurt, so I said no almost every time until last year. Yeah, I
And
finally did it last year.
you just said screw it, let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Declan, I think we're ready for your show and tell, and then we get you out of here. All right.
All right.
This has been our past guest favorite part of the show. This is when you get to show everybody how good you are, and you get to tell them about it. So before we get started with the first part, do you have any awards or anything you want to share to your audience who needs to get their butts in this chat?
I have a trophy.
It's all buried.
No.
Well, Dad said it was all buried.
It's
It has 30 rings, but they're built into a lamp.
there.
Oh,
My
we
trophy's
need to
on
see that.
on the desk.
I'm sorry, you shouldn't have said that, Dad. We got to see that.
Okay,
Go on and plug that thing.
you gotta go get that.
He like, what? Putting me to work.
Also get the trophy, please. Oh,
oh my
All right,
god.
while Dad's doing that, Declan, we have what's coming. We're almost at our 100th episode. We're 11 episodes away from our 100th episode, Declan. Can you believe that, man? We about to be at 100 episodes.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
100 episodes.
Yeah. We have interviewed over 80. If you
80
count the
plus.
brothers, sister,
Oh,
we just had one recently, another set of brothers. We have interviewed 86 athletes, Declan.
it's insane.
Wow.
And that's including you. 86. That is phenomenal. And the year is not even up. We still got 5 more years. 5 more years. Wow. 5 more months before we hit our 1-year anniversary. So, but what we're going to do on that 100th episode, we are going to show our top photos that have been submitted by our past guests. So, what we're going to do is we want to show the top 5, but we've been having every guest vote on them. Okay. So we're going to go a scale 1 to 5. 5 means it's swagged out just like you were when you got your nickname, Swaggity. 1 means we need to burn that picture, set it on fire, and never show it again.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's the ring lamp. Whoa! All right, give us a run. You don't have to go through all 30, but highlight a couple and let us know where'd you get those rings from.
Oh, how do you get this out?
Can't. It's all screwed together.
That's
No, you're not gonna get it. Yeah, you're not getting that out of there.
That's why we haven't put all the other ones in there.
Well, there's this pumpkin one, that pumpkin ring. I'm pretty sure I was guest playing for a team.
I don't know.
We made it to the final, and there's this really cool ring that we won, and there's this Christmas ring with what is it called? With snowflakes on the side, and that's when we won the tournament.
They're all championship, right?
Yeah.
Well,
And
Awesome.
which ones are cool? This one has the. Is this the Under Armour one?
yeah, you won the Under Armour championship.
We my team.
Yeah.
My team won the Under Armour championship, and we got this Under Armour ring with some. I'm pretty sure you could see it. It's this one. No, you can't.
Oh yeah, the name was blocking it, but I think that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And you said you had a trophy you want to show?
Yeah, but says no. Dad, please.
Where is the?
It's in my room. Can I go get it?
No.
It's on the little desk thing. It's on the thing
Yeah, it's on the
in
thing.
the front of the room.
All right, while you're doing that, let's show you the first photo. This comes from a basketball player that we had a couple weeks ago, Mr. Montana McBride. And I don't know how to do this on the phone, but move the camera, Carlos.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
And
okay.
so this is Montana, not French Montana, but Montana McBride. And so, what do you rate this 1 out of 5?
Can I do halves?
You can vote however you want.
I'm gonna say 4.5. 4.5. Yeah.
4.5.
Yeah.
Okay. And why you give him a 4.5?
Honestly, it was like the different color between the basketballs. It just like turned dark to really light.
Oh, okay. I see the light context in that. Okay. And Carlos, you didn't get a chance to vote on this one. What do you vote? What do you get rate this 1 out of 5?
Oh, okay. Finally, I get to vote.
You never voted on this one. This is the first time I've showed it.
Yeah, I know. It's first time on the show that we've shown it. I would go with I'll probably go 4.5. The same thing as Declan. Same thing.
All right. And why you give it 4.5?
He's the smoke in the background. The color of the smoke matches his jersey. Sitting down. It's a tough picture.
Okay. And this next one is from another former baseball player we had on here, Mr. Jace Winston. And what do you rate this picture?
I'm gonna say a 4.
All right. And why'd you give it a 4?
I like how it's like almost like a hole and it says war games. Yeah, I like that, and I think they did a good job, like try to make the snow on the mountains.
No, Mr. Cash and King, they rated this a 2.5. I couldn't believe it.
What?
And what do you rank it, Carlos? I know you missed last episode. This one we debuted it last episode.
Oh, okay. I rated 4. I'll put that a 4.
Okay. And why you give Mr. Jace a 4?
First of all, because it's a rare post, it's a rare post. It's rare that people get this post, so it's a nice post. But I really don't like the blurriness because it's not clear. So
Oh.
I'll go with 4.
What do I say?
Okay.
I know.
All right. Here's the next one, Declan. This is from JD McDuffie. No, it's not AI, but how do you rate this?
5.
5. We got our first 5 this episode, Carlos.
Okay.
All right. And why do you give it a 5?
The moon and the smoke just looks sick, and I like the mask that he's wearing, and it just looks like super cool.
I like the way he said it was sick. All right, let's get to the next one. This is from the guy that loves to call my co-host Aiden Ross,
Move on.
and he's about to debut his own show real soon with another guest of ours. It's gonna be called the Lambo and Cash Show, so that's gonna be coming out real soon.
Okay.
But this is Lambo, and disclaimer, that's real fire in his hands.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say 3.
Oh, and why'd you give him a 3?
3.
The background's just plain.
Oh, you get a 3 for a point. You hear that, Lambo? They don't like plain backgrounds. But speaking of Lambo, he has one more.
The orange.
Same thing. How do you rate this one and why?
4. I'm gonna say 4.
Oh, okay, got a 4.
I said 4 because it's like really orangey, and the jersey that he's wearing is orange, and I like the words, how they're like almost like lit up.
Oh, I like the way you described it, orangey, and how you like that you're the first one that paid attention to that small detail, because Lambo likes to put detail in his photos, and I like how he illuminated his name in the background. It looks like it's lit up, like it's a bunch of lights. So you're the first one to pointed that out. So kudos to you, Declan. So I love baseball players, Carlos. They pay attention to detail.
Yeah.
Speaking of detail, this is from my guy Camden Harzinski. He made this when he made his middle school team as a 5th grader. So go Camden. All right, how do you rate this one?
3.
All right. Why a 3?
I think it's cool that he's pointing and spinning a ball on his hand at the same time, and it shows like the full court, but like the colors, yeah, it's just like kind of bland again.
You like colors. Colors. So since you like colors, so this is Carlos's boy. I'm gonna let him bring in the next one.
Yeah, so yes, Declan want to talk about color. Here's color right here. Tate Medina. He plays running back, receiver, and plays linebacker over there in Texas. Has aspirations of playing college football. He's a very aggressive tackler. I actually saw his story just recently of Tate, and he made a great catch as a receiver. So he can play receiver too. In the next level if he wants to. So he's from Texas. There's his picture during his media day. So Declan, how would you rate this 1 out of 5? 1 through 5.
4.5.
4.5. Okay. Okay. Why 4.5?
I like the gloves, like the skeleton gloves, and the background, like the red and like bluish smoke matches, like whitish, grayish matches the jersey. I just think that looks cool.
All right.
All right. And last but not least, this is the first actor we done had on here, Mr. Remy Payne.
Uh,
Oh, we got a
3.5.
3.5. That hurts my soul. 3.5. So why a 3.5, Declan?
Uh, the fog like overlaps the photo a lot, and I like pretty much everything else. It's just like I feel like the fog could be like not as like covering as the photo.
I can respect that. I can respect that. All right. Are you ready to look? You ready to talk about your photos now?
Photos.
Oh yeah, you got some.
Yeah.
But you're not rating your photos 1 out of 5. Remember, this is show and tell, okay?
Okay.
You get to tell us a story behind that photo.
All right.
All right, so here's the first one. So what's the story behind this one, Swaggy?
Oh, I don't really know. I guess I was just playing third base and uh in like one of my in like my like ball is getting like set position and this looks like I'm playing third base.
You don't know what game or tournament this is from?
No.
That's when that's when you need Dad to help you. All right, let's go to the next one.
Oh, this was when we were in I remember this. This was not too long ago. Right?
It was for all America.
It was yeah, it was for I made Team Florida for
Nice.
all state games and it was this was close to there and we took a photo next to the fountain and all the flags.
Oh, that was pretty cool. What you think about that, Carlos?
Team Florida. It's impressive, Declan. It's not very easy to get Team Florida. There's a lot of athletes in Florida. Being Team Florida, that's impressive. Good job, Declan.
Thanks.
No, it's not Declan no more. It's Swaggy D.
Swaggy D, yeah. Okay.
All right. All right. What's the story behind this one?
I don't know.
On deck.
It looks like I was like talking to a teammate in the dugout when I was going up for on deck. That might have been the start of the game because I'm usually on my team second or third batter, mostly second. So, and the gloves look brand new. So, yeah, I don't really know.
All right. You ready to move on to the next one?
Yep.
I hope you know about this one because boy, this is a good picture.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yes. So I was guest playing for one of the elite teams. What?
You weren't a guest playing on that one.
I was
No. You're just playing for your team.
I was guest playing for the yeah, I was. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I think I was saying balls then coming down on 2. Pretty sure. Because my mask was up and I don't know.
You're like, you catch that ball, catch that ball. All right, he's out. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh,
This
your
is what
pitcher too.
This wasn't
Exactly.
team. This was for Team Florida too. I was top 5 for pitching. I'm pretty sure. I got selected for the all tournament pitching. Only 10 kids out of all the pitchers get picked for that. So I got picked for that, and I had. I was like third, like top 5 pitchers. Like one of the kids checked the pitching ranks, the pitching ranking.
Respect. What do you think about that, Carlos?
Very impressive. How high is that mound, Swagger D? How high is that mound? How high is that mound? Because that's
Yeah,
like
that is a pretty high.
high.
That mound looks. No, go
But
ahead, Dave.
ow, like 20 feet.
Y-
What do you mean? What do you mean? What does he talk about? The
The,
pitching mound
the
or the
pitcher's mound.
fence? Oh,
The pitcher's mound.
how high is it?
yeah, because that's high. Because when people see it, and when people see it like on TV and stuff, they're like, "Oh, it's the easy pitcher." When the celebrities do the first pitch, and celebrities think, "Oh, it's easy. It's gonna be a walk in the park." Oh, and all you gotta do is just pitch the thing. And the thing's not that far, right? But then they get there on the field, and it's like, "Oh shoot! Like this is far. This is way farther." And then the mound's like elevated, so they're like, "Oh shoot! Like I'm not prepared to do this." Like
Um,
you know, it's
I
crazy.
think the length was around 50 feet. And I don't really know how high like a foot or two.
Hey, the main point that I'm saying is that for people that are watching, seeing baseball, it's not as easy as it looks. Doing these first pitches, these people think, oh, it's easy. And the thing's not that long, right, from the pitcher to the catcher. But if you see it in real person and in person, that thing's far. And then not only that, but the pitcher's mound is elevated, so you can't really throw a normal pitch. You got to really put some force into it, so that it gets to the catcher instead of go fall short like a Stephen A. or another celebrity that throws it way off target. It's hard. It's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, just ask who was that threw that first pitch and it went maybe like 10 feet from her hands and
Oh, I don't even know. I don't know, but I know with Stephen A's, his went short. It's hit the ground.
but that man got noodle arms.
Literally.
All right, let's get back to your show and tell. I know you got a story for this next one, Swaggy D. You gotta know about this one.
This was also for Team Florida. Um. Uh. Oh, this was against Tennessee, the team that we lost to sadly. On Sunday. Um. It looks like I was getting ready to catch the ball here. A lot. A lot of these photos are from Team Florida.
All right, before we get to the next, your last two, we got to ask you that we got to put context to people that are not familiar with baseball. Let them know how difficult your position is at catcher.
Um. You're like obviously the pitcher controls like the game, but the catcher almost controls the pitcher. Like it tells him what pitches to throw, where to throw them, and like the pitches to throw. And catching is hard because if a ball gets past you and a runner's on, it's a free base. Like I don't think that's really like if they're on first to second. If they're on first and the ball gets past me, they're now in scoring position and say it's like 1-1 and that's the winning run. Now they hit a ball into the outfield, a line drive. It's a hopper. It gets to the fielder. They score. Game's over.
So you're basically like the center to the quarterback in football, and you're like the catcher is like the coach to the point guard in basketball. So you're very important. So I would say, I know you said the pitcher controls the game. I'll say, based on what you described, you as a catcher controls the game. It's like you said, if that pitcher throws a wild pitch, if you don't control that ball, the game gets out of control, right?
Yep.
So I say you control the game. So kudos to you, Swaggy D. I just want you to give context to people who are naive to baseball, thinks anybody could be a catcher.
Not that easy as it looks.
No, it's not.
It is very difficult. Okay. Bam! So like you at the batting cage.
Oh, so this was at a place called Diesel where I work out, and my team practices on Monday. So, so, I was. I'm pretty sure this was after I got my. Of course, it was after I got my hoodie from Eastern Army. I'm pretty sure it was the first day I got it because I got sponsored by them like 2 months ago. Eastern Rawlings Army, couple like months ago, and I got the hoodie like in like 2 weeks. And this was a photo at Diesel. Uh, the person actually pitching soft toss was my brother.
Well, tell us a little bit about your sponsorship with Eastern Army, so your audience will know, and how to get them one.
I don't really know. You just gotta like work hard, be consistent, and like I they like reposted a lot of our videos, and where I hit at, I I work out at Diesel. I hit at a place called Elite Factory, and the owner of that place, his son is part of Rawlings and Eastern Army, and he was like, "How are y'all not part of Rawlings and Eastern Army yet?" So they got me like in with them, and they actually like start reached out with us. Then we got into Eastern Rawlings Army.
Well, it's pretty cool that you got your sponsorship. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this last photo, I think, is the best out of them all. Swaggy D, you look so intense and focused. Kind of put chills down my spine. You ready to see it, Carlos?
Yeah.
Look at
Oh,
that.
this was um again for Team Florida when I was batting. I'm obviously looking at the pitcher. The ball is pitcher
What
is
the hell?
probably like in his stretch right now. Yeah, this was.
Oh,
I was ready to hit. This might have been the one where I hit like the ball off the fence. Uh, yeah.
sorry guys. I thought I was kicked out of the podcast. All right.
You're good. You're still here. You're still here.
I hope y'all didn't see. I hope y'all didn't hear that bad word I just said. If y'all did, sorry.
I heard something, uh, but uh, but the thing wasn't clear, so you're
Good. Definitely don't need to hear no bad language.
good.
All right. So we're at halftime of the show and tell. All right. You can bring the camera back, Carlo.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to, but the camera's not showing. I don't think the option is showing me too. The option's not showing.
Carlos.
The option's not showing.
Or you gonna have to go out and come back in.
You want me to?
You're gonna have to
Okay.
if it's not showing on your end. Hurry up. All right, while we wait on Carlos to come back and fix the camera, Swaggy D, the technical difficulties of going live. All right, this is a question that we normally ask our guests,
There it is.
and when you're going out for a tournament, what is your must-haves that you have to put in that really cool baseball bag that looks like it weighs 750,000 million pounds? What are your must-haves you got to have in that bag? Besides your obvious bat and gloves and all that. You're Swaggy D, so I know this is going to be good.
Pine tar. My eye black. And my wood bat.
I got you. You ready to get into your videos?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and show them why you are Swaggy D.
Okay.
All right. This first one we're going to show. Well, it's just 6 seconds long. Shout out to Bruce. Shout out to Be More Bruce.
Yeah. Baltimore Bruce.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while since it's been a while since I saw him. I heard from him. It's been a while.
Yeah, Alabama's in the playoffs, so now he gets to show his face. He get to come out. He get to come outside because Alabama's in the playoffs.
Yeah, and a lot more things happen for him. Alabama. St. Francis Academy over in Baltimore. I was watching the Foreman podcast a little bit, and Bruce was talking about St. Francis Academy over there, their football team.
Man, didn't nobody ban you? Stop crying.
What?
All right, you're talking about somebody banned him.
Yeah.
No, let me give you a quick let me tell you what happened, Swaggy D. We did an NBA draft episode, and Bruce made the mistake of antagonizing these athletes, and they cooked him so bad that I had to pause the show because they were going in. You got to watch that toward the end. It was not pretty. All right. So this first one is about 6 seconds long. So basically, same thing like the photos. We'll show the video, and you just tell us the story behind it. All right.
All right.
All right. Let's go.
Oh, this was when I was training fielding and footwork with Coach Steven, my fielding coach. And that was when I was working on flips from second turning a double play.
All right. Pretty cool. All right. You ready for the next one? This one's also 6 seconds. All right. Let's go.
This was the same day in the same workout. I was working on my footwork and everything, and I was working on spin moves and to get the fastest situation to turn the double play. And if you didn't hear the siren in the background, we don't know what that was. And it went off for 40 minutes.
I better hope there wasn't a tornado coming.
Tornado.
Y'all out there ignoring the siren and like, "Roosh." Y'all gonna be like that movie. Y'all gonna be like that movie Twister.
We didn't really ignore it because at least the cops didn't. Because there's lots of cops there.
Uh-oh. Oh, that sounds like a fun story about this come on.
There's also a bank right next to there, right next to where we were fielding.
Oh.
So
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Bank
Uh-oh.
a bank
I think
robbery.
I know where this is going.
Bank
Let's just move on with the show.
Yeah,
Um,
let's go.
Bruce, you got a very nice comment. Thank you, Bruce. This is very kind of what you said to Declan. Can you see it? The last comment he made on the screen.
uh, Cal Ripken, check out the goat.
Cal Ripken.
Damn. You know who Cal Ripken is, right?
Yeah, baseball player.
Not just a baseball player. He
He
was the baseball player.
isn't that what Pitcher Forge? Yeah, like Pitcher Forge, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the baseball player. You telling him to check you out, and he calling you the greatest of all time.
It's crazy.
Bruce is not crazy. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's show. You ready to show some game action?
Sure. Yep.
Let's show Bruce some game action so he can see you in action.
So this was also with Team Florida. This was the ball that I hit. The field was 250, and I hit the fence with that ball. I thought it was going over. No, it was to win. It was to tie the game. I thought it was to get the lead. To tie the game, and we won that game, right? That was against Tennessee. Yeah, we won that game.
Oh, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And Bruce said you got $1 million stance. He's giving you a lot of showing you a lot of love in this chat. And yeah, but baseball does have fully guaranteed money. A lot of it too.
They got
Thanks, Bruce.
they
You
got
saying that you're gonna be rich? He's gonna say you're gonna be stupid rich. No, I'm just kidding.
baseball players. They're really
Yeah,
rich.
you make a lot of money. Look at show on Otani's contract.
I think it's not that bad, right? 100+ million is not that bad.
I had to tell them that.
He's overall, he's got a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, NIL deals. You know, with New Balance. You know, I'm seeing him in those commercial with New Balance. Oh yeah, he's doing more than just that contract.
I
Yeah.
I gotta go to bed because I play tomorrow.
Shoot. Okay. Well, the videos portion done. So I'm assuming this is where I got to give my take, Coach Tony, right here.
Yeah, we're at the part of the show where you give your take on the athlete.
All right, Declan. Okay. Declan, you read Bruce's comment right there. 2 good comments right there.
Let me see.
Wow,
You're like a future O'Reilly.
we can show it on the stage.
O'Reilly. It's Oreo.
Oh,
Oreo,
I
a
thought
T.
I thought O'Reilly meant Otani.
Looks like a future Oreo. Oh, I get it.
No, Oreo. That's a baseball team.
Yeah, I know the Orioles.
I get it. Yeah, and I get it because people like Bruce, Steve, they're trying to recruit some of our young guys to go to their team. Let's just say that probably Coach Tony does it a little bit. Recruit them to USC. Black and orange, baby. The Orioles. And the Orioles got Pete Alonso, Bruce. They got Pete Alonso, I heard, for the Orioles. So it's a good move for them, for the Orioles. Okay,
right.
so
Let's do the wrap up and let's get out of here. Let's do the wrap up.
let's do a wrap up. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do the wrap up.
Spiel.
And It's the wrap up today.
The spiel, you meant?
Come on, let's go.
Okay. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where we're live right here, right now on our podcast. You know, that we're live here on YouTube. This is where our podcast be. So please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you get notified of when we go live on YouTube. Also, scrolling down the ticker is our Instagram at Be Ready Sports Podcast on Instagram. That's where we post our sports news, podcast clips, anything related in the sports world. That's where we are on our Instagram. Like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel. Also, donate to Zelle, not Cash App, 954-664-8962. All proceeds will go towards the podcast to make the podcast better, to upgrade our podcast. So you can donate to Zelle, 954-664-8962. Silent Fear Down Online. This is Theron West II. His clothing line. This is clothing line. Silent Fear Down Online. This is clothing line. So check it out. Silent Fear online. Pickup Portal. He came in during August to introduce his business to the Be Ready Sports Podcast community. He introduced his company of Pickup Portal, his business. He's coming back in January to basically tell all of his upgrades and stuff like that. He'll be back in January. So basically, it's like for a coach, if you're down a few players for the weekend and you need players, you can just pick up some players from the Pickup Portal to replace those players. And if you're a player that wants to play for that weekend, you can put yourself in the portal and a coach will find you in the portal. Shout out to Kaysen Velez. Subscribe to Kaysen Velez, our first soccer player that Coach Tony interviewed right here. First soccer player on this podcast. You can subscribe to his YouTube channel at CV7Rocket on YouTube. Subscribe to Kaysen. Subscribe to Remy Payne at Remy Game Football. The player that we showed during our top overlays. That is Remy Payne, the first actor. He's got a YouTube channel at Remy Game Football 5250. All right, without further ado, Coach Tony.
Count us out.
I count us out. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
All right, y'all. To be ready.
Guys, stay ready, Declan. Oh wait, we didn't. Oh wait, we forgot to do this. We forgot to do this. Okay, Declan. So Coach Tony's gonna say be ready. You're gonna say stay ready. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
All right, to be ready.
You gotta stay ready.
All right, we out, y'all. We see y'all tomorrow.